Today I'm sharing 10 Dollar Tree DIY summer decor crafts that you are going to love. And it's part of a mystery box challenge. So all of the items that I created today were made using things that were sent to me in this box. If you haven't watched Mystery Box Challenge before, this is put together by Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. And my box was sent to me by Whitney, Whiskey and Wit. And I sent a box over to Jennifer from A Little Bit of Calm and Crazy. And there's always a special twist. I won't show my challenge items or share the twist till the end, but everybody's video is in a playlist below. Make sure you check them out. I'm gonna unbox this really quickly without showing the challenge items, and then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's the box, and this is everything that's in it. Now, whatever is not wrapped up is optional to use. You can use as much or as little as you want, but what you do have to use is the stuff that's wrapped up, which I'm not gonna show you just yet. For my first craft, Whitney sent me this beautiful vase, and I'm going to transform it to be a little bit more my style. Now, I found this paint on clearance a long time ago, but to get the same effect, just grab the color of choice and add baking soda. I've done that on my channel a few times, and I'm still going to use the baking soda, but I'm going to do it after. I've got 3 coats of this. Now that it's fully covered and almost dry, I'm going to grab my brush and dip it into paint again. And this is where the baking soda comes into play. This baking soda is from Dollar Tree, but you can get it anywhere. It's probably cheaper to buy it at the store. I'm grabbing my brush and taking a very small amount of paint and dabbing it back on. And then with a dry brush, I'm dipping that into the baking soda and just sprinkling it on top. I like this method a lot better because I can control how much baking soda goes on, and it's not just one big clump and still has the look of terracotta. The other method I was using before just kind of looks thick. And here's the final look. For this craft, head over to Dollar Tree and get yourself some bandanas. Now, this is part of the mystery box, and it brings 2 to a pack. I've done this on my channel quite a few times, but this time I'm trying something different. I usually stay away from sewing on my channel because not everyone has a sewing machine, and I tend to use hot glue, but this time I'm trying a new gadget, and I'm super excited. So I'm putting the fabric pretty side facing each other, and I'm gonna pin it. They're not very even, so I'm trying this out. It's the Stitch So Quick by Singer. I've got it on Amazon and I will link it below. I've had this in my craft stash for a while and I've been a little intimidated to use it, and honestly, I'm not really sure why, because this was pretty simple. The only thing that made it difficult was the fact that this pattern, it didn't line up. They weren't the same sizes, and I could have cut it down, but I didn't want to fray anything, and in the end, it really didn't make any sense why I didn't cut it down. But this was so easy to use. There is a little bit of a difficult part, which is getting the fabric through. But once you master that, you're good to go. I'm gonna go all the way around and then leave one little space open. When I get to the end, I stop, and I do have to tie it off by hand, so I can't backstitch, but no big deal. So I'm gonna flip this inside out, making sure those corners are nice and pointy. I could cut down the fabric, but again, I wasn't in my right state of mind, but this ended up looking really darn good. And no hot glue, so it will survive a wash. I can add like a little bit of Velcro if I really wanted to, instead of sealing the whole thing off, but I really was impressed by this little machine. So after I stuffed it, I just sealed off the bottom, and you'll see in just a second. Y'all, I own a full-size sewing machine, but the fact that I can just take this upstairs, or I can take this on vacation and use it in case I need to sew something really quickly, because I've had accidents with my wardrobe, I really, really love this. Anyway, so this is how it turned out. I do tie a little knot in the end and boom, so cute. For this craft, you're going to need one of these bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree. You can find them in the kitchen section. This was part of my mystery box. This is my mystery item. I cut out a little design on my Cricut Joy. I transferred it over using transfer tape, but I really regret not using Dollar Tree contact paper because this is extremely sticky. So if you've used stencil vinyl before, then you know it's not as sticky as transfer tape, so it's a pain in the butt to put down and it's just a pain in the butt. So if you're gonna use this, use contact paper. Next, I'm gonna use this Scorch marker. I will link this below as well. Everything that I'm using will be linked in my description. It's got two sides to it, one that you can use as a brush and the other as a pen. I wanna saturate it, but not too much because I don't want this to bleed. If you see the direction in which the wood is going, this does tend to bleed, so it's not going to look perfect. But for not having a laser, I think this is a really, really cool option to customize a cutting board. Now, I did let this dry a little bit before removing it because I didn't want to smear this. And this is what it looks like. You're going to take a heat gun. Yes, you are going to need a heat gun if you get one at like Harbor Freights. They're super cheap. That's where this one is from. And you're just gonna go round and round. If you watched any of my Christmas videos, then you know that I made one of these this season, and it did look a lot neater, but that's because the fonts and the designs that I used were a little bit thicker. So even though it did bleed, it did look a lot neater than this, but I still think this looks really good. I paired it with this little set from Walmart Dollar Spot, tied it up, and boom, so cute. In the clothing and personal care item of Dollar Tree, they have these little messenger bags, which I love because it has a design on one side and it's bare on the other. So I went ahead and measured out and I made a little design, which I'm gonna iron on. You can also paint something freehand, or you can even stitch on a design. You don't have to do exactly this, especially if you don't have a Cricut or a Cricut Joy. These things just make it easier to design, but you don't need them at all. There's so many options. So I'm gonna grab some butcher paper and I'm going to iron this on. Again, you do not have to do this at all. There is printer paper that you can iron on as well, so you can skip using a Cricut altogether. So I'm gonna peel this off once it is cool because that's what's recommended with this type of iron-on burlap. And then we're moving on to the mystery box item, which is a purple flower. Now, I am not a purple person. I did mention that in another mystery box, so this is a little bit of a challenge, but at the same time, not really. By the way, I am using Walmart Floral, and why? Because it is far better and cheaper than Dollar Tree. So please do yourself a favor. Most of the stuff at Walmart is 97 cents and not as skimpy as Dollar Tree. I am using the Dollar Tree floral tape to wrap that up. I'm cutting off the ends so that it fits in my little messenger bag. And oh my goodness, look how cute this is. In the floral section of Dollar Tree, they have these little tiny terracotta pots, and they are very fragile, so be careful. So I'm laying them out and I'm using some Dollar Tree reindeer moss to fill. Usually when I do projects like this, I do use floral foam, but I do want to reuse my flowers. So I'm taking them apart by just pulling them up in case I do want to put them back on the stem, and then I'm putting them into the little pot. Super duper cute. This could be the DIY all on its own, but it's not. This is just part of it. So I'm putting this together and I've made 3. And now we're moving on to the mystery box item. So this is what she sent me. This isn't from Dollar Tree, but there's tons of tutorials on how to make things like this. I believe Bargain Bethany has something similar. I am gonna add a piece of vinyl to this, and if you get where this is from, comment below. And I'm also gonna leave one of Whitney's videos below because she made some themed DIYs. If you get where this is from, then you will enjoy that video. But this one is so simple and
so adorable. In the party section of Dollar Tree, you're gonna find this plastic serving tray. Now, I spray painted mine with Rust-Oleum's Warm Caramel. It's one of my favorite paints. And then I am going to cover the top with Dollar Tree Nautical Rope. So you have seen this on my channel. And the reason that I am using it on this particular video is because I'm adding on to this DIY. It is a very, very old one. So that's why I'm showing it on here, and it's super duper simple, nothing crazy about it. I'm just gonna wrap this around and then make 2 little handles, but then the fun comes with the mystery box. So now that the tray is done, I'm going to incorporate the mystery item, which is this little set of coasters. But of course, you can get coasters at Dollar Tree. I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag, and then I am going to take out all of my frustration and anger. Just kidding. I'm just going to break it up into pieces. I honestly wanted to create another craft with this, but I didn't have enough coasters. So I figured this was the best way to make use of this. Okay, so here is my tray. Yes, after all these years, I still have the original tray, and I'm going to start to basically space out all of these little pieces. I don't even think I had enough for this craft, but I tried my hardest. Now, I should have hot glued this into place as I was going, but I kept rearranging. So I thought, why not try like a fake epoxy type of look with the Dollar Tree clear glue? The only issue is that I didn't have enough, and when this dries, it does evaporate a little bit, so it would take a lot, but it does dry. My fear is that it was just going to crack, and it dried really, really well. So if I were to do this again, I'd definitely use more glue, and I do think that I could achieve the epoxy look. The first challenge item, here we go. Grab yourself a dog bowl, and I love the fact that this is already black. I cut out some like designs, and initially I was going to wrap this around completely and then remembered, oh, okay, this is round, so putting it all together would be a pain in the butt. So I added each design on its own. You don't even have to do this, you can just skip, but I just wanted it to look a little different than just a dog bowl. Now these are the options that they have at Dollar Tree for filler, and I went with the white rocks. I'm just going to go ahead and dump 1 bag first. Then in the middle, I'm going to add one of these little quick flame things that they have at Dollar Tree. You can also use one of the tiki torches, which I've used before, and I've seen a lot of people use isopropyl alcohol. This is what I found, so this is what I'm going with, and boom. For the next challenge item, we have some pom-poms. Now I'm gonna keep this as simple as possible, mainly because my daughter claimed these pom-poms for herself. So I'm gonna use some Dollar Tree book rings, open them up slightly, and then just start gluing some pom-poms on. I started with a large one in the middle and then added the smaller ones to the side, and honestly I thought it wasn't gonna look as good as it did. I actually ended up liking this a lot, and now Aria wants to make a ton of pom-pom crafts, which I almost regret not having her do this craft. So I don't know, if you guys want to see Aria craft, leave a comment below. But this is how they turned out. I really think that with everything else I made, it goes really well. Let me know what you think. For the recreate craft, which is the special twist this month, I'm supposed to recreate one of Whitney's crafts. So she sent me these little cups. Now, if you watch Whitney all the time, then you know exactly where this is going, but I'm not showing you. Just an FYI, I didn't copy it exactly. I did recreate the craft. You are gonna see the final product, but I did add a little bit of my flair into it. So I'm gonna be using the little cups. This is what they look like painted. Some Dollar Tree foam balls. You're gonna get the larger size. And I looked into my stash and found these little jingle bells from Dollar Tree and these straws. I'm gonna cut the straws down so that they fit into the cup. And then this took a little work to find the order, but I'm grabbing some ribbon and I'm shoving it into the straw. Hers does not have ribbon, and you will see a picture of hers later on. So I'm putting that in there, and then I'm going to take that and put that into the jingle bells because I'm making this into little ornaments. Once the straw is glued into the little jingle bell, I am plopping that in there, which fits nicely. Then I took an item that was thicker than the straw and made a hole into the foam, cut that in half and fished it through and sealed it shut with some hot glue. Not too much or it will melt. Then with a highlighter, I colored it in. I wanted this to look like pink lemonade and lemonade drinks. And the reason for the jingle bells, because I want to use it for ornaments later on. Let me know what you think. You will see Whitney's reaction in just a bit.
Okay, Jay just sent me what she recreated for my little snow cones, so let's hit play. Oh, they're so cute! Oh, I love them! Oh, I love the pastels. Oh, I knew you were gonna kill it. I also love that you didn't do it exactly how I did it. Good job, girl. I knew you were gonna do great.
Okay, so that's it for me. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know which one is your favorite. Don't forget to check out everyone else's video. Down in the description is the playlist. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.